How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and today I wanted to go over some of the new armor mods in Season of the Lost. Like most recent seasons, we do have some new combat style mods. All of them do pertain to making elemental wells and utilizing elemental wells. So you're going to gain these over the course of the season from the Wayfinder's Compass. However, today I don't want to talk about these mods. They'll likely come up in future build videos, but instead I want to talk about some of the general purpose mods that were added to the world loot pool. I'm also not going to be talking about the holster mods because they are pretty well known by now, especially since they were mentioned in a TWAB a couple weeks back. Also, there is one new grouping of mods that I want to pay particular attention to in this video. But before I jump into all that, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, so the mods that I want to focus on the most in this video are the new Armorer mods. If you didn't know about these, they are new mods that go in your Ghost Shell. There are 6 of these mods, one for each of your stats. There's Discipline, Intellect, Strength, Mobility, Recovery, and Resilience. Now you may be wondering, what do these mods even do? Let's take a look at the Discipline Armorer. Armor pieces with random stats that you acquire will have a guaranteed minimum of 10 discipline and are more likely to drop with higher discipline. So that's exactly how all of the other Armorer mods are going to work, except with their respective stat. Another nice thing about these mods is the highest energy amount is 4, so you can still slot in experience mods like Blinding Light. Why do I think that these mods are so great? Because it allows players to be able to target farm certain stats on their armor. These can apply to pretty much any random stat roll in the game. So whether you're just playing regularly and getting drops throughout the world, whether you're heading into high-end content where you can get high stat armor drops, or if you're farming for exotics, I would recommend putting on the mod that matches the stat that you want the most. For example, I like a lot of my armor to have recovery, so I like to try and make sure I have a recovery mod slotted. That way, if I'm heading into a dungeon or a raid, or even if I'm going for some exotic drops in a Legend Lost sector, I get a guaranteed 10 recovery, and I have a slightly higher chance of having higher recovery on that piece of armor. So let's take a look at an example of this in action. So these mods also apply to tier 3 focusing on umbral engrams. So let's say I want to do a Discipline of the Lost focused umbral engram, but I also want recovery on that. So in my Ghost Shell, I'm going to slot a recovery armorer mod. Again, this will guarantee that I have at least 10 recovery on that armor piece. So what I'm going to go do is focus that Discipline of the Lost focused umbral engram. That armor piece should have high discipline and at least 10 recovery. So the piece I got doesn't have a great total stat, but as you can see, I got that high discipline and a guarantee of at least 10 recovery. Now imagine if this piece dropped with a total stat of like 65 or something like that. So in this regard, you can kind of target farm for discipline, and now with these new armor mods, you can also target farm for a secondary stat. Now just to prove that this works with any random stat roll drops, I'm also going to put the recovery armor mod on my Ghost Shell, and I'm just going to do a tier 1 focusing. As you can see, that piece is not great, but it does have that guarantee of at least 10 recovery. Again, with that said, if you're going to be farming any exotics in a Legend or Master Lost sector, I would recommend putting those mods on. Likewise, if you're going to be heading into a raid, a dungeon, or any other activity that drops high stat armor. Alright, enough about the new ghost mods. I do want to talk about some of the new Stasis armor mods. If you didn't already know, you can get Stasis elemental armor now. And on that armor, you can place new Stasis elemental mods. These are going to be similar to how you can put solar damage resistance in your chest armor if it's a solar chest piece, or how you can put things like dynamo in a void helmet. There are now Stasis mods for each armor piece. With that said, in your helmet, there is a new mod called Power Preservation. This says that your super final blows create extra orbs of power for your allies. Then in your arms, you have Grenade Kickstart and Melee Kickstart. Grenade Kickstart makes it so when your grenade energy is fully expended, you gain grenade energy back. The same thing applies to the Melee Kickstart, but instead of your grenade, it applies to your melee. Now I just want to show you a quick clip of this in action. Just a moment after your grenade lands, you get some grenade energy back. The same thing will apply to your melee if you're using Melee Kickstart. In this clip, I was using 2 Grenade Kickstart mods. Then the only Stasis mod for chest armor is Stasis Resistance. This reduces incoming stasis damage from enemy combatants. For those of you who haven't noticed yet, some Taken and Scorn enemies have been updated with stasis related attacks. Not only that, but there are some stasis modifiers in some activities now. If you look at this week's Nightfall on Legend difficulty or higher, you'll notice a modifier called the Fanatic's Zeal. This makes it so incoming stasis and splash damage is increased. So in that case, stasis resistance is going to help you out quite a bit. Next, I want to move on to legs, and here we have the mod Orbs of Restoration. This makes it so picking up an Orb of Power grants a small amount of energy to your ability with the least amount of energy. Lastly, in your class item there are two stasis mods. Utility Kickstart. When your class ability energy is fully expended, you gain class ability energy back. Just like the Grenade and Melee Kickstart mod, this is going to give you back some of your class ability when you use your class ability. The second stasis mod in your class item is Restorative Finisher. When you use a finisher, you gain a portion of energy for your least charged ability. This does require 1/10 of your super energy. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the new armor mods that you may have missed. I also really wanted to showcase the Ghost Armorer mods for those of you who are trying to target farm certain stats on your armor. Anyway, if you ended up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.